There are two dogs here because Cousin Radar is visiting, so if there's noise, there's not much I can do about it. They're graciously gonna let me film.
Please, guys, please. Please.
We have Love in Paradise, the penultimate song of the Wisdom Saga, and I have 3 of these because I have to go rogue for Jojo. And I'm watching all of them on mute because I think, as we discovered with We'll Be Fine, that's the way to go. I just had to take a toy away from Radar because, trust me when I say, if you think the peg noises in those early epic videos were bad, you have no idea what it's like to listen to Radar chew on a toy.
You don't want to know.
So officially for Love in Paradise, I have Duvet Box once again. We've, I think, had Duvet Box for most of the songs in this saga. And we have Himea, who we have not seen in a while. And as always, I will also be going rogue for Jojo because we go rogue for Jojo in this house. I have been told that the voice actress for Calypso is a woman of color, so if I see any visual coding of that character, it's coincidental to the fact that a lot of these designs are inspired by the voice actress, which was good to know. As I discussed with Antinous, and I briefly had, I think, referenced or even mistakenly said Eurylochus, because similar situation where characters who are posed as being against Odysseus, and especially in the case of Calypso and Antinous, are absolutely villains of both the Odyssey and Epic, them being coded as people of color when really no other color character had that coding, I found a little unfortunate. And it does seem to just sort of be an unfortunate coincidence that, you know, these artists have a tendency to base these designs on these singers, and these singers happen to be people of color. So awkward coincidences all around, right? But let's get started with Duvet Box. So we do have flashing lights, obviously allusions to erasing ourselves out of the narrative, which we know is part of the song, but flashing lights as well. Okay. It's supposed to be Athena, that's right. Sorry, this just made me think of how I got told that Duvet Box said they hit Athena with the butch beam, which made me laugh hysterically. But yes, we have a short-haired Athena. Once again, I know it's Duvet Box. You like to give all the gods sort of, I say, like elf ears, the pointed ears. And she's got a facial scar as well. Okay. Are we pulling up scrolls? Nice. Ooh, I like the Polyphemus design quite a lot. Oh, love the helm. The helm looks great. Oh, interesting Iola's designs. Yes, I do remember your Poseidon. Okay, Circe. Ooh, Tiresias. They're interesting. I love the motion going on here. It's very dynamic. Oh, well, that Scylla is horrifying.
I have to see her.
Yeah, this is our big, massive, here's your recap of everything to this moment.
I know.
Yeah, the gold eyes. You have the gold eyes, that's right.
Odysseus,
Love.
where did you go?
I just love the plumage and the helm for Athena. Is this... Oh, so this is all yeah. Okay, okay. Before anybody asks, so the island of Calypso is spelled like it should be called Ogygia, and I think that's what I called it first. I've since been reminded that that G is sort of pronounced like a Y, so at least in modern Greek it'd be called Ogygia, which is going to trip me up a bit, because even I think that sounds a little odd to my ears. Let's take this note to say, I had mentioned it back in my original Epic videos that Calypso is on this island, and we don't know whether it's a case of she can't leave or won't leave. If she has any reason where she's unable to leave, it would be the fact that her father, Atlas, sided with the other Titans in the Titanomachia, and the fact that she sided with her father, potentially. However, Homer does not state this explicitly. So far as I know, other ancient sources do not state this explicitly. And it really seems more of a case that she just doesn't leave. Similarly to how Circe doesn't really like to leave Aeaea. And these nymphs in particular, are often linked with very specific places or nature-related things. But these sort of minor goddess/nymphs like Circe and Calypso, they just kind of stick in one place. They just don't generally leave where they are. Which again, I always make the joke, look at the men of Greek mythology, can you blame them? I don't think I'd be leaving my island that I could obscure from people either. And that is an important thing to note. Calypso has an ability to obscure her island, to make it so you can't find it. In fact, Menelaus, when he's talking to Proteus, the old man of the sea, Proteus tells him, hey, you know, your buddy Odysseus, you're gonna get back before Odysseus at least, because Odysseus is trapped with a nymph and she won't let him go. And Menelaus is initially like, I'm gonna go, dude, that's my bro. We gotta go save my bro. I gotta go save my bro. I can do it. I'll go get him. I'll take a fleet. Like, I'll go. And Proteus is like, you'll never find him. She can shroud her island. You'll never find him. You're not destined to find him. So we know she's got that ability. But it seems that that's where we are. I saw like architecture, like kind of temple structures, we'll call them, up on the hills. We don't hear too much about her having like buildings on the island, which is kind of interesting. Most of what we describe is like a cave. She, again, caves everywhere that she lives in. She does deck it out. It's very beautiful and all that. But it's interesting. We do not hear of her really having like a palace or halls. I just sort of realized that as I was thinking it. Oh, we have braids. Okay. These are braids slash, it's very clearly some kind of, I say textured hair. Textured kind of coils. What is interesting is she does get called the nymph with lovely braids. Now, many characters get described as with lovely braids. It's a very common epithet you see in Homeric poetry. And that's further expressing that some form of braid or braiding was the hairstyle of the age, not only obviously in kind of the Archaic Age, but most certainly in the Bronze Age. So from Mycenaean and Minoan art, especially Minoan art, you can see their hair is very much like braided and down. They're in these kind of interesting hairstyles. So as much as I think this is going for the kind of textured look that might match up with the singer, again, I don't know what the singer looks like. I know she's a woman of color, but ironically then giving her braids is actually perfectly in line with her character. It's one of her descriptor epithets.
Talk in your sleep. Tell me though, who's Penelope? She's my wife.
Odysseus finally looks like he's got a little bit of muscle on him.
Anyways, I've got
Ooh, I like that. Did you see how when she turned around and wasn't looking at him and she was getting frustrated, that blue on the top of the gradient got a little darker? I like that. That's a really cool way to use color to do visual storytelling and kind of follow what the voice is giving you. And we're also changing up the gradients. You know, we had, you know, blue to something else. Now we've got a pink fading into a green. The color choices are very pretty and they're very interesting. And I think it adds to the idea that her island is, we'll call it the word exotic. Like it's just, it feels, it's paradise. But a gilded cage is still a cage because obviously Odysseus is not allowed to leave. She's not allowing him. She won't let him. And she has the power in this dynamic.
You could need here, just you and me, my dear, my love for life.
Very bright.
I'm not your man.
I'm what you need here, just you and me, my love in paradise. Now till the end of time, from here on out, you're mine. All
Yeah, no, I could kill you where you stand. I'm no pet, I'm a married man.
Oh, handsome, you may try, but last I checked, goddesses can't die.
Yeah, the shadow coming down on her face. Be like, goddesses can't die. And then he's realizing, oh, I'm in trouble. Oh yeah, doing the bit of the pointed ears, the white sclera and everything else. These color changes are fascinating. I mean, again, like I said, this is a power dynamic. Odysseus is not allowed to leave. Obviously, Jorge has completely cut any actual essay from this story. We know in Homer, and we're actually present for the final act of it, we know that she essays him over the entirety of the 7 years there. We know that's a thing that happens. It's driven him literally to the point of wanting to off himself. He is absolutely a prisoner to her. He is her victim in every respect. Homer makes that extremely clear, not only in the text, but literally by using words such as like he is unwilling and he has no choice. It's made very clear in the Odyssey. So she's in no way a sympathetic character in the Odyssey. She's not a sympathetic character in mythology because she really doesn't have any other appearance than in the Odyssey. I mean, other than being just like noted as a daughter of Atlas and kind of these few things, she doesn't have much of a mythology of her own. And she, even compared to like Circe and other characters, stands out as a particularly egregiously kind of terrible character who abuses her power, such that it takes Hermes coming down and saying, Zeus is giving you an order, and this is an or else order, and you don't want to know what the or else is when it comes to Zeus. He gets creative. You don't want an or else from an Olympian, but certainly not from Zeus, who is again the most powerful of all the Olympians put together.
Oh, we can need here under my spell. We're stuck in paradise. No one can come or go. my island stays unknown.
No, I don't belong here. There's something wrong here.
Interesting architecture. We're having like bits of the like columns and stuff evoking kind of a classical look, but then some of the windows look a little more medieval and such. It's not really a nitpick, just sort of an interesting choice. Oh, back to Athena. Time has passed. We see him with facial hair. Interesting, his body composition is still kind of the same. I was wondering if anybody would do like a change in body composition, like he's sort of wasting away a bit. Ooh, I love the color contrast. It's beautiful. I mean, blue and so a little bit of color theory. Blue and orange, cyan and orange, blue and orange really are opposites on the color wheel, which essentially means your eye cannot blend them. Your eye basically would vibrate between the two colors, but it does mean in color theory they work, because they are opposing colors, they are extremely complementary to each other. They work really well, they play off each other really well. That's why often if you ever see like filters for your Instagram photos, whatever, they play with blues and oranges a lot. That's why it looks really nice. So here, this dark, very beautiful, actually kind of warmish tone blue, I think, because we're leaning kind of towards a kind of like blue, like leaning towards purple, so warm because we're adding red with this then beautiful little orange as the light and the glow from inside. It looks really gorgeous, and so there were gorgeous moments of sort of lighting on Calypso. It just makes it stand out and looks really pretty, even while this is a very dramatic moment.
You don't know what I've sacrificed.
And I like seeing the water droplets coming off the hair, really showing that they're moving around.
And all I hear are
Come back inside, dear love of my life. Come back to paradise. I know your life's been hard. I'll stay inside your heart.
This might be my favorite from you. Just the motion of all the characters, the physicality of what's going on here, I like a lot.
Stay in my open arms.
Oh, that light coming down is so pretty. Look at that. It's a beautiful effect. Very evocative. Oh, look at Athena. I didn't realize we'd given her wings. Did I know that before? I forgot. Oh! Look at that. Wow. That was really beautiful. That ending bit in particular, I liked a lot. I sort of said it while watching. I'll say it again, Duvet Box. I think this is my favorite by you. There's just the use of the colors, the way that especially you had Odysseus moving around, his physicality in that last bit was absolutely stunning. Really well done. And that bit with the light coming down at the end, I'm not sure what, if you used any like different layer modes to like bring that the way that yellow out of the orange glowed, it was so pretty. It makes me think that there might have been a layer mode effect there. So for those who don't know, when you do digital art, you can work on what are called layers. Essentially create a new layer and you draw, and you can draw a top and under things. You can paint a top and under things. If you've ever seen Photoshop, you kind of have an idea of how layers work. And you can set these to different modes. These modes mean that what you're painting or drawing on that layer is going to react differently with anything that's under it. So anything on a layer under it is going to react differently. So it can, a lot of people who like to do glow effects and stuff will absolutely be putting those layers on a different mode. I think a common one would probably be something like add, which will, I mean, if you really especially want like a blown out light effect, you use an add layer mode. So that was very beautiful. Absolute, like very, very pretty. And again, subtle things, especially the use of those gradients and darkening them at the top to reflect when Calypso's getting frustrated or when she's really flexing her power and showing that not only is she the one in power in this dynamic with absolutely no question, but that there's a danger to it and that she is not somebody to be liked or trusted. Well done. So next we have Himea, who we have not seen in a while. Seriously, guys, when was the last time we saw Himea? Himea, did we get you at all in the Thunder Saga? No, I don't think we've seen you since Underworld. Okay. Let us see your love in paradise. Again, opening with blue. Blue is very much Athena's color, clearly. I don't know if there are like somewhere instructions from Jorge on what everyone's color palette is, or if these are based on the general color palettes of the album art. I have a feeling that's probably what it's related to. Oh. These Athena's hands? Interesting. Oh, look at the plumage. We love good plumage. I love that we can't see her eyes. And a lot of people are doing kind of scrolls to sort of back tell the story. Just the top of clock. Interesting. Or I guess probably a sundial for that age. Falling down through everything. Their expressions are very funny. Oh no, Himea, we did see you in the Thunder Saga. We saw your sirens. We did.
I have to see her. But we'll die. I know.
Odysseus, where did you go?
It's an interesting look. Oh, we're doing greens for Calypso. Ooh, very different color palette. Oh, she's got... looks like some sort of plant in her hair. Very poofy hair. Obviously, again, something like reminiscent of kind of a fro, but pulled back. I don't know the name, if there's a name for that style. Very soft, very anime-like features in kind of a way that's slightly different from some of her other designs. Lots of round, soft things. Oh, for God's sake, not the kissy face. Also, Odysseus wandering around basically half naked. Finally, somebody looks like they're from Egypt. Oh, wow, yeah, she's being real upfront physical. Ooh, the glint in the eye.
Goddesses can't die.
Yeah, I liked seeing that. Yeah, that bit of color. Ooh. Oh. Wow. Really leaning into this being a power dynamic. Even though she's, you know, shown as sort of smaller than him physically, she's got all the power. Wow. That face. Oh, geez, that's, yeah, that's pretty dark.
7 years she's kept you trapped out of your control.
Athena with a very nice build, actually. Oh, wow, time has passed quite a bit. Okay, yeah, her hair is in locks. We've got some facial hair on Odysseus. Thank God, everybody's finally giving him facial hair. Gosh, he should have started with it, guys. Just saying. I like his hair like this. Actually, Himea, I do feel like your art style has sort of like, I don't want to say this and sound condescending, but like matured. Like just thinking back to some of your like Storm and some of the earlier, in this earlier saga work that I saw, like compared to this just feels, I mean, I think I said it before, like very confident, very mature. The design feels way more just like set. And that you're trying to give him a sense of sort of uniqueness and a sense of character. I am finally getting more of a sense of, hey, this could maybe be Odysseus. The beard should be a bit longer. Like, the beards were insane, guys. They went for beards. Again, beards really, like, not having beards, the clean-shaven look, didn't really kick in as something that was seen as potentially fashionable or even something you wanted to do until you hit Alexander the Great. He was very unique in doing that. He was trying to evoke the look of, like, Apollo. So interesting, little fun, we'll say fun facts, since we joke about the beards. We joke about the beards really because everybody at book club and anybody who's heard that Telemachus is supposed to have a beard just like sort of has their mind broken because it's hard for people, I guess, to imagine him with a beard, whereas I go and go, well, yeah, of course he's got a beard. Understandably, because beards and like, are they seen as fashionable or desirable and like what they mean in a society change over time, right? So if you look at the Olympians like Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, they are full beards. Very beardy. But if you look at some of the younger gods, like Apollo or Hermes, they are clean shaven. They are notably clean shaven. Now, it's equal parts, they're gods, they can kind of do what they want. It is that, too, expressing that they are younger than the Chronaides, aka the 3 sons of Kronos. So they are younger, they therefore do not have beards, they're kind of the next generation. But it also creates an almost uncanny, unsettling effect. That they have this youth, and they are often associated with youth. but they are gods, and they'll wreck your shit. There is an uncanny and, again, uncomfortable, like, almost unnatural sense to that. It would put people on edge. And also, initially, Achilles, when he sailed to war, might not have had a beard, because he was incredibly young when he sailed to war. Now, of course, by the time we hit the Iliad, we know he's got a beard. There's reference to Athena literally yanking his, which is a hysterical image. Trust me, you can laugh. It's a funny image. She grabs him by the beard and be like, knock it off, like her toddler, pulling him away by his beard. But Alexander the Great really wanted to evoke the kind of like Apollo look, so he kept himself very notably clean shaven, and it was unnerving. And then when you hit the Roman period, there becomes big discussion about beards. Like, sometimes they're in fashion, sometimes they're not. And when they're not, it becomes a real mark of status that you are clean shaven. Because think about it, you need somebody who can cut that close. And it's a dangerous business, because if you get nicked, the likelihood that you're then going to get an infection is extremely high. So it was often kind of a sense of status that you did not have a beard. But again, these attitudes kind of change and flow with the times. But in the time of the Bronze Age, which is this time, we know that it was, if you're a man, you've got a beard. Like, if you don't have a beard, it's a sign that you're not yet a man, kind of thing. So interesting. I think I make all the jokes about the beards because they're sort of a given when you read Greek mythology. It's a given that 99.9% of these dudes percent of the men are going to have beards, unless they are a god or they are a child, or they're noted as not having one, which would be very unique. But yeah, no, again, just like this shot right here. I love this shot. Like, to me, this expresses so much, and just, again, shows me that I think, Himea, your style has developed and matured. Like, this feels more like really a character, and he feels thought out. He's got a past, he's got all this stuff. And I could be totally talking utter bullshit. Like, for all I know, Himea's like, no, I had that design the whole time. Bugger off, lady. That's fine. This is just what I'm seeing, and I don't want to come across as condescending when I say it, because I mean this as a compliment. Like, I like this design of Odysseus. Like, we're getting closer to something where I'm like, yeah, I can envision this in my head. And the way the hair moves is so nice.
You don't know what I've gone through. You don't know what I've sacrificed. Every comrade I
Ooh, I like the squiggles.
every friend I saw.
Here come the tears. Very nice. Ooh, wow. Those eyes got very big and very blown. Interesting. I mean, one, it did kind of look like a sad anime girl, which I don't think it was meant to be, and I don't think it's meant to be a moment of humor, so I'm curious as to why the eyes suddenly go very, like, the irises and pupils go really huge like that and very dark. Maybe it's something like when you die, your pupils tend to fully, like, dilate, so, I mean, maybe it's that? I don't know. Ah, Calypso, fuck off. Again, great physicality here. Yeah, and this weeping, he's described as weeping in the Odyssey when we show up at Calypso's island first. Like, he's in absolute despair. And it's brutal. Again, I like the kind of scratch out squiggles. Really showing state of mind. And it's also horrible just how much she does not care. Second start at the right, straight on till morning. Sorry, I had to make the joke. It's because it's on mute.
Needs my help.
Oh, showing the screens as burning up. Yeah, that's brutal. Interesting. Some interesting imagery there, Himea. I like that a lot. Yeah, no, as I was saying, I think what I like most is even though both Duvet Box and Himea have drawn Odysseus as, drawn Calypso as like weeping for him and whatever, it's like you could just let him go. She really doesn't care. Which is the important thing to remember. Again, she's a narcissist. And she's an abuser. She's, I mean, arguably the worst character in the Odyssey, and that includes the suitors. Because she commits essay. And we have no evidence that the suitors do. And that's not just a cultural thing, right? It's, oh, we have to sit there and witness it. It's not in graphic detail, but we do have the moment. And she perfectly exemplifies somebody who's a narcissistic abuser, and then what happens when you confront them. Like, the scene with Hermes is just like you sit there and you're equal parts sick and pissed off, and you just kind of want to hit her. which sounds like a terrible thing to say out of context. I'm not necessarily advocating for things, but I'm like, ooh, I could slap a hoe. She's the worst. She's the worst. And now, if I recall correctly, I did recall correctly, Jojo has a love in paradise. We have a love in paradise from Jojo. Very excited to see these designs. I did see the thumbnail. Again, we are drawing Calypso as a woman of color. Again, I fully understand this is because of the singer. Totally fine. I'm ready for more of Jojo. I'm ready for more of your Odysseus. He is thus far still my only smashable Odysseus. Don't get me wrong. I like Neil Illustrator's Odysseus. I can like a lot of the designs of the Odysseus's. Anywho, but Jojo's. Just some suffering. He is smash. That a smash. Okay? This man is smash. So we're all clear. All right, Jojo, I'm ready. Although I will apologize, Jojo, I am watching this on mute. Just because we know I don't like these songs. Yeah. Ooh, look at these columns. Oh my god, look at Athena. No, wait, go back. I want to see Athena. Oh, look at it. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. I love her. I love it. See, here we have a bit of the Medusa imagery here. She is oftentimes portrayed as having sometimes the Medusa head on her shield, or in other imagery that she's wearing. So I love the inclusion of that. Again, the clothing, which I think I've said before when we saw Penelope and all this, this particular style kind of dress is just a later Greek style. It is a Greek style, an archaic and a classical style, and it has a name, and I'm completely blanking on it. But we know it's not Bronze Age style. Again, when I say these things, they're not like, how dare you not have done whatever style. It's just a note. And I am also still of the opinion that when you do the gods, that like their kind of dress and what have you, I think there's, especially when you're doing animation, I think you get even more of a sandbox to play in, because you could say they exist really outside of time and space, because they do. They're immortal, like sort of like the genie in Disney's Aladdin. But I love this. Also, love the vases. Obviously, love the vases. Big fan. Love the look of the ship. Though let's talk about the ship. This particular bit here in the front, that particular bit in the front is a archaic later invention, because this was used essentially like a battering ram. And we know that in the Bronze Age, they did not yet have that. So again, a lot of the imagery you get of the ships, which are drawn on or painted on vases or in other art, it's being done at a later date. It's not necessarily reflecting the Bronze Age exactly. Now, designs were likely probably moving towards that direction again. But we do know in the Bronze Age that ships just took you from point A to point B. They were not used for naval combat, because naval combat really wasn't quite, it seems, a thing. Really not yet. So that starts kicking off several hundreds of years later, when the designs have been modified and changed, where we know it includes things like a battering ram on the front, which I do believe is part of what that was for. Whatever the case, I like us evoking the classical, the archaic design. I like seeing it. And again, I will also say, if you try and look up imagery of like Bronze Age Greek ships, you're kind of going to be thrown a little all over the map, because a lot of people will reference the pentaconter, because that is seemingly what is described in the Homeric epics, but we're still not even entirely sure if that's what they would have been using, because again, Homer is writing tons of years later, and most of his he's mostly informed by his current age. For example, in the Iliad, we don't have a lot of talk about chariots being used in war, but we know from enough evidence war chariots were a huge thing. But they're not talked about much in terms of being used in combat in, say, the Iliad. So, kind of as I say, the fun facts of like trying to sort of guesstimate what these mythological transports and things would have looked like becomes an interesting game. But, Jojo, I do love your style so much. And I just love the designs. I love the attention to detail. And these are, they're called Ionic, right? Ionian columns with the swirls. The swirls. Beautiful. I love that she's in a hall of vases. A lot of the two previous people did scrolls. Perfectly fine. I understand why, but I love the idea of using the vases. And the hair is half up, half down. Oh, look at the way that moves. Oh, imagining her with the helm. Ooh, Oh my god. I now get to pause and see the designs for all these characters where you don't have... Oh. Love Iolus. Iolus here actually looks... I'm being weird. I'm sorry I'm being weird. I'm staring at Iolus's chest. I know this is weird. But we know that Jorge cast, I believe the singer identifies as she, and I'm so sorry if you don't, went for a gender neutral kind of female voice. We know in the Odyssey, Iolus is just a king, and he's not a god either. But this design is extremely, we could say, gender neutral, and I'm being a freak and looking at the chest because I was curious if you'd given him boobs. So Jojo, I will ask, is this swirl, because there's a very particularly placed fabric swirl here, which I think is very clever, because I don't know if you're using it because there's a more of a female breast underneath, or if we're going for, you know, manly chest tits, which obviously, you know, we like our muscly men here. And if that's just very clever draping. And again, I love the swirls. I like these, I guess are supposed to be, what are they called? Winions. The other voices that are around looks great. Odysseus again looks small in comparison. Thighs are out. Ooh, I love it. I'm so scared and excited to really see your Poseidon now, though. Love this. I would be so curious how you would animate this, because I bet the shape language and the movement would be so interesting. Very beautiful. Oh my. Hello, Poseidon. Poseidon shirtless. Poseidon absolutely... Oh, and look at that. Hey, actually, look here. You see that ship? See how it's got high on both ends? Again, we know this is a design that was there in the Bronze Age. Looks great. I actually like that a lot. Again, these shapes, these swirls are so... The shape language is beautiful, and I love it. I can imagine this being on like a frieze on the wall, or somebody having painted it on the vase. This is so nice. And again, beard, hair, Poseidon looks great. Loves it. Just slight motion. Ooh, oh, hello. Ooh. Hello, Circe. Do you see her nose? Look at that good, strong profile, strong nose. Her hair is kind of pulled back. She looks very intense and intimidating. The animals behind, yeah, for the Pokemon battle thing. Ooh, love the design. I get to preview your designs on this. I'm so glad I have this to look at, because these are all things where you don't have animatics, so I get to almost, I feel like I'm cheating and I'm looking at stuff that hasn't been, oh, this is so exciting. Oh, yes, Tiresias, I remember. Yep, the sirens, I remember. Oh, hold on, let me see. We got puppers. It's a Scylla with the puppers. Scylla with the puppers. I love it. And they're coming out from her midsection like that. Again, she's said to have these 6 snarling dogs. They are said to have really long necks. They are very unnerving. And you will see some really interesting ancient designs. Just, love that they're puppers. Love her in the back. Odysseus looking like, sorry, dudes. My bad. I think that's supposed to be Odysseus, unless that's supposed to be maybe like Eurylochus or one of the crew members who gets eaten or something, but ooh, love that. No, that's not Eurylochus. You've drawn Eurylochus as shaven head as well, I believe. Yes, you have. So that is Odysseus. Great shot. Great body language here. And there's a texture on this, I think. That, or it's just... I think there is a texture on here to evoke, you know, these are almost like images in sand. Yeah, like a grain. There's a really nice grain going on here. Grain you might call almost like static. Whoa.
Odysseus, where did you go?
Ooh, love her then holding the vase. Oh, the vase imagery is so good. So good. Ooh, going for pink-ish purple. Looking through her hair. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, that POV shot. With the light coming, the lens flare is so good. Yeah, he looks a bit of a mess. Odysseus, I know you don't want to hear this, but sir, again, I say, you're kind of a bit of a smash. Sorry, Odysseus, you're about to be traumatized about that. My bad. Sorry, I should not be thirsting after the trauma, man.
She's my wife.
Her face. Well, anyways. I love her hair. That hair is a very, like, classical kind of style, the way that you see it, like the shape of it, very classical. So I like that, even though, again, there is a very tight kind of like coil to her hair. And I apologize for those with any sort of textured or whatever hair. If I am using the wrong terminology, I'm really sorry. I don't know. I'm doing my best here. I'm trying to describe it where I'm like, these look like really, really tight coils. And if these are not the correct words, I'm very sorry. Please feel free to educate me in the comments. But the shape of the pulled back to here and then coming down, it's a very sort of classical Greek hairstyle. And it also does look like it is sort of braided a bit down here, because the way that it's flowing down in the tendrils. I could be wrong, but it does look like it's got braids. And again, nymph with lovely braids. Oof. Hands off, girly. He taken. But I get the I understand the impulse though. But I just wouldn't hold him hostage. Oof. Yikes. Ooh. Ooh, that is some strong body language, grabbing her by the throat. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's incredible. I mean, again, having him think he's got the power, then everything lights up, and then she melts away, then reappears in the water like, you're cute, pumpkin. Giving very, what's that Miyazaki film? Ponyo, the woman who comes out of the sea. Or maybe you could take influence from the character of Calypso in Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, in terms of how they make her huge and all of that. But then she looks down and we're looking down at him in that POV and we're like, oh, puny human. Oh, you messed up. Yeah. Again, real emphasis of the power dynamic. Being like, you're doomed. Oh, okay. Cute island. Again, we do see architecture. I truly don't think we ever describe architecture on our island, which is kind of interesting. I love doing the huge size differential. Oh, and the fact that she's moving oh.
7 years she's kept you trapped out of your
Interesting. Okay, Jojo, I'm gonna ask you a question. I want to make sure I'm understanding this right. First, I was really wondering what she was doing when she put her hand on Odysseus. The eyes light up. And then his light up too, and I was like, whoa! Is she messing with him? We don't have any evidence that she does that. She just forces herself upon him, and the power dynamic, because again, actively practiced religion and all of that, would be enough that he has no choice. But then we come back out to Athena, and because we are doing the time skip, is that meant to be sort of Athena, we're with Athena kind of coming back out of the image? Is that what the eye glow is supposed to mean? Like, oh, pause here, put in new VHS tape, if you will. Can't believe I just described it that way. Oh, the night looks good. Yep, she's in another very classical design for her clothing.
You don't know what I've gone through. You don't know what I've sacrificed. Every
oh, his hair is even longer. And what's also extra interesting about this, guys, so see how she's drawn his hair to be so much lighter. In this light purplish blue, the thing she's using for her lights, essentially. Could have gone with the dark pencil, because we know Odysseus has dark hair. I wonder if, Jojo, you can correct me if I'm wrong, or if I'm just crazy, and you're doing it just to contrast with Calypso's black hair here. I would almost wonder, like, is he going gray from stress? Because we know that you can go, like, your hair can, there are cases of, I think they call it like Marie Antoinette syndrome or something odd like that, but you can lose some pigment in your hair out of stress. It is a thing that happens. So I wonder if that's it. I mean, we are showing time passing, but him looking so aged, and he does look a little thinner, just the way that the clothes hang on him a bit more, that he's stressed, he's traumatized, he's being held hostage, you know? But do love we see how much longer the hair has grown. Gosh, he just looks so much older. The glowing eyes, yeah. Girl, you don't care. Ugh. Everybody's done the desperation of the scene and the body language so well. Oh, his eyes open wide like that, looking just like crazed. Again, everybody's done really well with this. Scrunching the image to show breathing. Nice. Yeah, bugger off, Calypso, I don't care. Or is she? What exactly are we doing with the glowing eyes here? I'm now confuzzled and curious. Ooh, oh, it's all destroyed now. Love that. Love that. Look, we know I'm a big fan of Jojo. We're big fans of Jojo in this house. Jojo, that was scrumptious. Absolutely scrumdiddlyumptious, and I don't just mean Odysseus being shirtless. That was a thank you from me for that. All of those were extremely well done. I really love how everybody, again, animated and posed and then like was really physically showing their characters in that final push, the desperation, the tragedy, the trauma, all of that. I think it was done extremely well. The little things people would do to have, you know, Calypso, I mean, having her moment of like, who's Penelope? She's my wife. Anyway, like that bit, as well as the goddesses can't die bit. You know, it's really where you, that's the true Calypso. Oh, got it. Got it. Now I see who and what you are. Love how that's done. Everybody did really interesting ways with that. I'm very impressed. Again, as much as I watched it all on mute because I just didn't want to have to listen to the song, the art was awesome. Just very, very well done. And next we have God Games, which is just going to be a smorgasbord of character designs, godly character designs. You know I'm ready for a smorgasbord of designs. I'm ready. I think I have like 5 on deck. I have quite a few God Games. So that will be awfully fun.